Okay, ladies, ready? Folks, please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, welcome to this cool evening outside. Better to be in here for once. This is the June 30th meeting of the Town of Canandaigua Planning Board. I think we know each other pretty well. There's some unfamiliar faces. So let me get through, make sure I remember who's on the board too. Get Kim Burkett, our remote facilities coordinator, Jay Palermo, our alternate planning board member who is not active this evening. He'll be acting as an alternate. Tim Schneider, board member, Mark Tolbert, board member, Amanda Van Laken, board member. Bob LaCourse, board member. I'm Chuck Euler, chairperson. Kristen Smith, our zoning officer or development manager. Real tight, right?
No, I don't really have time.
You don't have time? As long as you get paid. And we got Eric Cooper, who's from MRB.
Say it for.
And somewhere we lost our solicitor. But that's Kristen Adler, I think, who we all know. We got Dan Daleforth. Your last name. Oh, okay. Our development director. It's Cecilia. Thanks, Dan, for showing up. And that's the group except for Karine Hatch. Last but not far from least, Karine is our recording center. All right, we're going to follow the agenda as published. We got quite a few applications to go through, but they shouldn't take too long, hopefully. And I think everyone knows the protocol as far as addressing the board. And that being said, I think I'll go to, let's see, front of the floor. Does anyone here or out in digital land have anything to address the planning board regarding an issue that is not on the agenda? Okay, hearing none. We had no published legal notices for tonight's meeting. All the applications are, for the most part, single stage site plans, and some extensions. So other than that, and some credit releases. So there's no need to do a legal notice, so that is not required. And we'll move right on to item 1, just CPN 2026-020, Anthony Venezia, representing a property owner 3411 Westlake Road. The property owner wants to construct a single-family dwelling with associated improvements on a now vacant piece of land in the RLD zoning. And good evening, Anthony.
Good evening.
Tell us about it.
So yes, this project started as a tear down rebuild. It's about 5 or 6 years ago. The client was going to tear down rebuild. The goal that originally transpired was to tear down the original house and rebuild in more or less the same location, which would have been between the lake and the sewer easement. There was some plans that kind of went through, and this project had the eagle's nest that was at the north end of the lake. So it got put on hold because we were only allowed about 2 months to work on the outside construction, and it would have taken a long time to do that. So the DEC monitored the nest that was in that old cottonwood tree at the southeast corner, and over the last few years, the eagle has vacated the property. The DEC gave us a letter to take the tree down. So the tree has come down, and now the client is now wanting to start his project. The new location of the house is going to be on the west side of that easement, about midway up that slope. The kind of the location of the house really followed along those 2 easements. We have a sewer easement for a sewer main on the east, and then we also have a lateral that supports a house to the west. So we kind of nestled the house in that section there. There's going to be some stormwater management on the southwest under the driveway with some storm check chambers. That's going to take some of that water that's off of the driveway, and then the water from the house and the roof is going to go to the northeast corner on the other side between the lake front and the sewer line. And take that water in first and storm check chambers as well. So the infiltration will be broken up into 2 little sections, one out of the driveway and one in the northeast. It's a pretty standard site. We're gonna widen up the driveway to be within the code. Right now it's 10, so we're gonna bring it to 12. A few of the trees that are in this area that we were trying to protect. This one, have been taken down by the homeowner during the process that we were doing this. The other trees on the west side of the driveway, the black walnuts, are staying as far as right now. So we do have a landscape plan if you want to take a look at that. I think it's, yeah. So some of those trees obviously aren't gonna be there anymore. Those two on the, we have the 3 on the northwest side that we're gonna replace with some of the ones we took down. The cottonwood will be replaced, that was taken down, we replaced with a triple sect of trees there. The maple tree on the north is still there, and then a couple extra plantings, and then some foundation plantings from the lakeside to kind of break up the house a little bit per shoreline guidelines.
Is there an updated plan with the 3 being in the northwest, the 3 being removed?
It was just the 2, so we're working on that because it's a hand-drawn one. It's a little bit, we have to start from scratch on that. So we'll show that and we'll update that landscape plan showing that those are not gonna be there.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
And your existing site plan should reflect it. There's trees
Yes,
taken.
yep, absolutely.
Okay, so you're square with the county sewer district as far as the easement. I know we've had a couple applications that's sewer easement going through the property, and they were pretty specific with the applicant that they wanted to make sure that nothing was put within the easement.
Yeah, we have a pipe going through there for a liter, but if it gets torn out, it's not anything significant. So there's not any kind of structures or underground infiltrations. Everything's outside of the easement. There's just a conveyance pipe for the roof leaders that'll cross it.
And I guess a little bit of grading up
Yeah.
to the north edge. And I guess the same with the line running to the property to the west. Okay, let's talk shoreline. We were talking landscaping. Does the board feel comfortable? The applicant's done a adequate job as far as meeting the shoreline guidelines.
Yes. Yeah.
How we feel?
Anthony, I just want to say, I've been on this board for several years, and this is the first time I've seen the infiltration plan for the waterfront. Appreciate that. Normally, we just dump it into the water, we're doing a lot of silly things.
I never do that.
Yeah. Oh, this is the first time I've seen a real drawing of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Normally, there's just water hitting the lake and no infiltration, and I was glad to see that.
Yep.
It was a plan, so hopefully the driveway won't be seal coated or.
Well, those will be piped in. It's not porcelain, it'll be
Yes.
piped in, so it's a little bit different than impervious asphalt. They just don't hold up, so they'll be piped in.
All underground, good.
Did the plan include a maintenance schedule for the?
I didn't see
Infiltration.
it, that's true.
We can put one together.
Yeah, we've been trying to get, I mean, it's one thing to put a system in, it's another thing to make sure it gets maintained properly and functions as it should. So we've been asking for the record plan to.
Yeah, we can include a
Maintenance.
maintenance schedule.
Yeah, somebody tracking that if they need.
Yeah.
Jim Fletcher had commented about the HTO, the water service, some details on that. Eric, you had mentioned a stormwater maintenance agreement, which I guess gets into what I was just talking about.
Yeah, we require them to maintain it over time, but the plan will just detail how that is to happen.
Okay, how it's to be maintained.
Just what we were talking about, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I guess you're talking formal agreement too.
Correct.
We have to do that. Yeah, we have.
So it's an
Like
agreement
the MS4.
to maintain it.
Yeah.
And the agreement would include how it's.
Correct.
Okay, the new driveway width, is it going to be
12
10? It's gonna be 12.
Yeah. So right now it's right about 10, and that was one of the things.
9,
Might have been there, yeah, might have been.
Sure, yeah.
We are widening it to 12. And the owner has talked to the, I don't know if it's an HOA or the group that
Mhm.
owns Westlake Boulevard, and they don't have a problem with us. You know, we're really just. adding
Okay,
some-
we're down by the lake, so are you square with code on the floodplain delineation?
Yeah, I
What's
went through
shown
with
and
Mike with the different
your
floodplains that he wants. to
elevation of
show.
your building as
Yep.
far as being 2 feet.
Yeah, we're quite a bit above the
Okay.
2 foot minimum.
And your building height, is that on here? I didn't see it.
Yeah, I think it's in the zoning chart. We're right at 25 feet.
The county planning board look at this and have any comments? Maybe it was accepted.
There's no variance. This one.
Okay, and you saw the code office comments, I guess, McMurphy's.
Yeah, we'll go through the additional ones.
Floodplain, talk about, anything else, board? All right, anybody in the audience want to address the board regarding this application? One thing, since you did take the trees down, I know the ECB was concerned about tree replacement and trees on the property.
Yeah, they mentioned it. They said when we were in the ECB meeting, he said that all the black walnuts were taken down. That not all of them on the plan. There were a few that were on the west side of the driveway that are still there. It was just the two, but we'll make sure. I can see if we can add another tree to replace.
Well, that was my thought, since you took 3 existing trees down that
You go back to the landscape part.
weren't originally proposed. could
Right,
we-
but we just do another one somewhere on the north side. I'll just add one. We can add another tree, or maybe we can do another clump. There, I can add what we lost with the two.
Okay, well, let's get specific.
I believe it was just two. I went down there today and only saw the two stumps, so
Should we do 1 to 1?
Can we do 2 for 2?
2 for 2, so 2 additional trees.
Okay,
So 2 were taken down, we'll
2
put
down,
2.
2 up.
minimum 2.5-inch caliber.
Yeah, but not a black walnut, something more.
No,
Something a little bit.
native,
Yeah.
please.
But we're gonna leave the other ones that are up there, as far as I don't know what the homeowner will do, but. as far as
Was
I'm
ECB comfortable with the species? You were, so if you can,
We'll just.
something of species that you're already
Yep,
proposing, be consistent,
that's fair.
okay? All right. So we're ready to vote. This is a type 2 seeker. Someone want to bundle the seeker along with the site plans? And we'll ask Eric to give us any additional conditions. Must we do it now?
Okay, 2 additional conditions. Condition 10, prior to signing the plan sheet, so it's gonna be all the existing proposed landscape plan. They're revised to reflect the removal of 2 trees near north of the driveway. And the proposed landscape plan is to reflect 2 additional replacement trees. Condition 11, maintenance plan schedule shall be provided detailing how the infiltration areas are to be maintained.
All right, you've heard the additional conditions. Someone want to give me a motion to that effect? Along with seeker.
No,
So moved.
Mark got it. I'll second.
Okay, so I got a motion second for discussion. If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, very good, Anthony. Thank you.
Thanks.
I got the next one.
Next
Oh, you got the next one?
Just stay right here.
All right. Speaking of the next one, it's 2026-040. One Anthony Venezia again for 4338 Lake Hill Drive. And it's a single stage site plan development of a new single family dwelling with accessory dwelling unit associated site improvements and on a vacant parcel in the SCR1 zoning district. So this is the house in the hill.
Yes, so this plan has come before the board before a few years back. It did get an approval. The homeowner at the time wasn't ready to build a house. Now they've outgrown their current house and they're looking to start this project. So it's gonna have the same kind of form factor as last time the house has changed. There is an addition, a slight change in the site plan that I can mention is the ADU that's proposed is no longer gonna be an ADU. It's gonna be an ag barn. They have plans down the road to do a cut flower type farm for commercial uses farther down the road once again, but that will be an ag structure. It's gonna be built under an ag data statement with the town. I've talked to Kristen at that set of permitting, so it's not gonna be an ADU. It's still gonna have water to it and a bathroom in it that's allowed under the ag statement and building up that barn. So the driveway is gonna come off the end of the hammerhead. We did speak with Jim. Jim prefers it there just due to being able to move snow to the north and south of the hammerhead, and it's not really in his way. So it's gonna come up, it's gonna wrap around, it's gonna hug the west side of the hedgerow, wrap back up and around, and then reach the house on the northwest side. The driveway is about 1,200 feet long. I've been talking back and forth with Mike at the town regarding fire protection and getting water, enough water up to the house for the state's requirements. Stormwater is gonna be managed through some open swales that'll allow some infiltration as it runs through, but basically what we're trying to do is we're gonna get the water down to the existing ditch that's on the west side of the road and to the pond that was constructed for this project. This project was part of a larger overall subdivision that the Barrows had planned. There was another, I think, 35 or 40 homes that were planned to go up there, but my client 5 or 6 years ago came in and bought the rest of that project from the Barrows and decided that they were gonna build a forever home up there. They also purchased, within the last couple of years, they also purchased the 2 lots to the east of them as well. So that whole area right now, the only thing that's gonna be planned is the single family home and then the ag structure.
So I visited the site today and
Mhm.
walked up the hill. I was curious of whether you might be able to work in small level spreader in that ditch coming down.
Yes.
Whether there's.
Are you talking about where it crosses the driveway? Cause we're gonna, down the swale is all gonna have some riprap
Okay,
check dams that'll be permanent. So we can do the check dams that'll be in place in the swales will be permanent. We could do
Okay.
a level spreader where this comes down through,
oh,
crosses.
no, I was actually thinking in that stretch, cause the contours are right.
Yeah, we're using, I mean, we could do it before it gets to the main ditch, we can add a little bit, but it's gonna have check dams at the right, if you just look at the detail, it'll be. The toe and the top will all be, so there's gonna be quite a few check dams that'll be put in there to help slow down water and manage that erosion.
Okay, and like I said, it's a suggestion. Looks like a wonderful project. It's a lovely piece of property.
Yeah, we can look at it.
So what I didn't know is there is actually a pond on,
There was a pond that was built for the upper section of it, and it's on, if you, like Encore would show it. So all the infrastructure up until that hammerhead has been put in,
yeah.
so the ditches are there, the catch basins are there,
I
and-
saw the catch basin.
yeah,
the
so,
one through the ditch, and I didn't know whether.
and those are all sized based on. The project moving
So
forward.
it's not just a ditch to the lake.
No, it is a ditch, so. Just gonna zoom in and I'll show you how it's gonna work. So we zoom into that hammerhead. So the plan, the house is going right about here, so we're gonna use the ditches and open swales. To bring the water, the majority of the water, like I said, because of the distances, you're gonna get some sheet flow, some drainage, some infiltration. It's gonna come through here, it's gonna hit this large swale, and then there's a series of catch basins and pipes will bring it around and bring it to that pond that's on.
Okay,
So
that-
it's
that-
not just going into an open ditch and sitting off the lake, it's going to an existing conveyance system that the town already has.
So it looks like a good sized pond.
It's very,
Cool.
Do you know the disturbance of trees that are gonna be in the affected area of just the build lot area?
there's really not much up there. It's, and, yeah, it's wide open and there with the with the driveway's gonna come in and kind of wrap up into here. There's gonna be some of that, but it's our favorite kind of tree of black walnut grove up there and it's killing off everything. So that's the only thing that's up on that hill. But for the house, most of the house and the driveway are pretty much in the open. And they're gonna keep as much of that. They did take some trees out of the hedgerow, but the majority of the trees that are in the hedgerow are gonna kind of hold there to kind of block that. They will have a little bit of a lake view, but mostly from the lake, you're just, this time of year, you're just gonna see that. The vegetation, you'll probably see the house from the lake in the fall.
It looks like they own that property that cuts in close to the driveway as well.
Correct, they own those two lots that are vacant on the north side, so.
332, 334.
Yep.
Okay, Anthony, for the board, could you confirm that Lake Hill Drive has been dedicated and?
Yeah, that was all taken care
That was
of.
an issue back in 2020.
That was all taken care of back then,
Mhm.
so it's been dedicated to storm, the pond was all
That was the
taken
other
care
issue.
of, that was all. Been addressed during that time, and I think it was before the site plan was approved, it was when we were doing the subdivision, because we cut off the pond.
I think it was a
So,
condition of
something
the
like that,
subdivision
yeah.
approval.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Back in the day,
Mhm.
2020, there was a variance required for these having a sewer to the accessory building. Is that not
That
an
was
issue?
an accessory building, because they were gonna have a pool house, that was gonna have. A
That's
bathroom.
right, that
That's-
building was gonna be a,
It was
Cabana.
gonna be an accessory building, not attached, we couldn't figure a way to attach it to the house and make it work.
Mhm.
So that has gone away. I mean, they do have a plan for a pool down the road, but there's no accessory structure on its own that's gonna have a bathroom in it. The barn will, but the barn under the ag statement is allowed.
Okay, so you've got a split lateral going barn and.
Yeah, so we're gonna bring up the lateral, we'll split it. Just to the east side of the house, and it'll service the same thing, the water and sewer all split.
And that was an issue, or you sold the counties.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk with the county, because before it was an ADU, so it's handled a little differently, so we'll have that conversation with them if they want us to, because it's really not gonna be. Used right now under the way they're building it. They're either gonna use the house or they're gonna use that, it's not like they're adding 20 or 30 usages,
Is there a kitchen in the barn?
just a bathroom.
Just a bathroom.
Yep.
Okay. And the other issue I think came up then, and I guess is still a concern you're working with Fletcher, is the pressure.
Yes, the pressure and
Pressure on top
the,
of
and the amount of water, we'll probably have to work in some sprinklers to the house, and homeowners are. We're working with a fire protection engineer to try to figure out. Design that system or understand exactly what we have to do.
Okay,
4 years ago wasn't a problem, but it's an issue now.
and we've got that as a condition regarding working it out with Jim.
Yeah.
Okay. ECB, stormwater controls, I think it's gonna essentially be an open flow, but with plenty of room and space to run before.
The original
Yes,
plan,
go ahead.
we were
Yeah.
showing some infiltration areas, but we decided, we're gonna do the swale anyway, we can try to connect this to the existing and let it. Just go where it should be going the whole time. Doesn't really make sense to have the infiltration up at the house and have the maintenance and the extra agreements, where we could just. Use what's there and what's currently not overcapacitated at all, since most of what the pond was designed for was never gonna be built. Or wasn't built.
And if you stay within your shown limits of disturbance, I think you're okay. Like you said, there's not a whole lot of trees in that area. Most of it's to the south toward the gorge and
Correct.
to the west.
Yep.
Okay, again, for the record, the Ag Committee had no issues with the any loss of potential farmland. Yeah. MRB, did you have a SHPO for this originally, or?
It would have gone through during like the initial barrow development, and I think there are comment though that maybe it was flagged at that time.
Right.
This was follow up with them for this one, just to make sure there's nothing in that particular site.
Anything else, Eric, that MRB came up?
Just that we wanted to see the SWIP be developed, but that wasn't there, to see it as now, we just haven't had a chance to look at
Yeah,
it.
we
I don't
went
think there's
through it.
anything particularly major in our comment letter.
We're under the 5, we're like 4.5 acres of disturbance. So we're gonna try to really keep that as tight as possible. We're gonna monitor that as we go. and really do a better job of when we put the road in to stabilize it as fast as possible, so it's not an open ongoing problem, so.
I guess the last thing is, what's it gonna look like from a distance? I guess we've have a concern about ridge lines and, will this is not at the ridge line, it's not the top.
Not at the top, I
Yeah.
mean, it is what you would consider, it's not on the ridge, it's kind of tucked off the ridge. The ridge is more,
But there's.
I mean, the ridge line would be what I would consider like in here.
Mm-hmm.
But we're tucked, trying to get a little bit on the backside, but still maintain some height to it.
And still there's trees behind it.
There's trees in front of it, I did upload a picture from the lake of that hedgerow, so.
Mhm. Okay, board, have anything else?
I have one thing. I know that ECB had noted from the original application exploration of a relationship with the land trust. And there's like an open space brochure and cloud permit for like, hey, these are some options for land preservation things. I don't know if the homeowners have indicated.
They're looking into some options as far as how it could benefit them as well as a land trust or an easement or some sort of environmental aspect of it. Yeah, they are looking into that. They haven't made any kind of decisions, but
They're open.
they're not looking to develop it. It's their forever home. They're gonna. But they are looking into options. They
Understood.
haven't really picked anything. I haven't, but as far as I know, they're trying to, take advantage of what they can.
Okay, great, thank you.
I guess if you create an easement, it affects your taxes in a positive way, I guess, to some degree, because you said that it's gonna be
Yeah,
forever green.
it can, and it's at what. How does it benefit them? It doesn't work out in their favor, right? I mean, they're not planning on developing it. They're not gonna give the town an easement,
No,
but
I
I
think
know
it's
they're
just
looking.
protected.
They're willing to talk about it, and I know they've talked to the Finger Lake Land Trust about some options, not purchases, but possibly.
Anyone in the audience have any questions, concerns, comments on this application? Any further questions, the applicant, board? If not, we've got a seeker type 2 again. And a single stage site plan resolution in front of you. Currently has 8 conditions. Did we add any more? I didn't know any additional conditions. I don't think we did. Let's keep going to. And I think you've got all the third-party agencies covered in terms of Fletcher County. Sewer district. I got the set aside. With the PNR, if I correct. We discussed the ridge line. Okay. Somebody want to give me a bundled motion for the second action?
I'll make that a motion to approve CPN 2026-59 at 433 Lake Hill Drive for approval on site plan and with the Anderson.
Conditions. Mhm. Okay, get a second, please.
Sorry.
Get the second. Okay, we got a motion, a second. Further discussion? Not all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thanks, Anthony.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Next application is 2026-036. Desiree Peacock, represented by Marks Engineering for property at 5015 Seneca Point Road. Single stage site plan for a single family dwelling associated with a vacant lot in the R3 zoning district. And Marks is represented by Mr. Marks.
How you
Good
doing?
evening. Yep.
Good evening, Brendan Marks, Marks Engineering. The applicant is actually Craig and Nicole Lewis. Desiree is just our administrator that submitted the application, so I don't know how that gets worked into the agenda, but So yeah, here representing them for
You got
this.
tough billing. Okay, so it's in Lewis's, you say?
Yeah, Craig and Nicole Lewis.
Okay.
We've done a site plan for this house, this property once before for a different house, different project, different client. This is the second one for this house, a little bit different house placement. And a little different house footprint. So the applications is on the east side of Seneca Point Road. On the south side of the property is a large gully. And it's some steep slopes that are around the gully area. We've provided a steep slope map for the request of the town. There you go. So the red is extremely steep, and then you get into a lesser steep all the way down to the green being a moderately steep slope area, and the white being not in a steep slope. So we've identified those. The driveway is about 500 feet long. It has a fire truck turnaround at the end. It also has a pull off. A new house is served by a private well that's already on the site. There'll be a new septic system for the house further down the field. There's a bit of fill at the lower side of the house because they would like a flat area for an in-ground pool. So we had to build that area up quite a bit. Stormwater will be treated from the impervious driveway areas through dry swales that run parallel to the driveway on both sides. Again, we've put erosion sediment control blankets over all of the new grading for the fill areas and the driveway areas that we've done some cuts. That'll stabilize it after the earthwork's completed.
Do you have to bring Phil in for this job?
Yes,
How much?
1,200 yards. I think there's a job right next door too, though.
Oh, the town job.
I don't know if it's 1,200 yards, but.
What are they gonna charge you? What's the slope of that, Phil slope?
I believe it's 3-on-1.
3-1.
Still mobile grade.
And how high a bankment?
It's the fill depth at the deepest is right at the in-ground pool, which is
Right.
just under 14 feet. Single level living, right?
Yeah, well, that'll be a controlled fill. Of course,
Yeah.
if it slides. It'll go back into the woods, I guess.
We are cutting on the uphill side and the driveway, turn around there. I mean, there's about a 5-foot cut there. So that does offset some of the fill that we're bringing in.
From a zoning issue, any issue with the chicken coop and the fence in the front yard?
No, that's on.
Okay.
So the only question I had is, could you put the site distances on the site plan?
Yeah, sure. Yes.
Just
Or
so-
added. I think that
They're on the
Lindsay
existing-
sent a
They
message
were on
to
they were on the
Lindsay.
slope plan, so.
They're on the existing conditions plan.
Yeah.
I think there's an existing
Okay.
driveway. So if there's a driveway that's either was in the subdivision or is existing, they'll show it on the survey plan. And should be there. No, I'm a liar. Yes, we will add those.
It's a separate attachment. It's in
Okay.
there as other the
Yeah.
updated existing survey base with site distance for documenting. Lindsay just messaged me. and we did
First file.
You have a listed camp schedule for that lift, and do you know if it's gonna be a gunite pool or a fiberglass pool in the future?
I do not know the answer to both those questions, but as far as fill goes, depending on material, we'll specify lift and compaction testing requirements. I don't know what type of pool it is. Hopefully it's gonna. Those are the nice ones.
So it looks like the site distance is over 500 feet in each direction.
I'll work with them on fill, sure.
Just 14 feet of that.
I didn't wanna do it.
Could they consider a retention wall or a geogrid wall to give them that
It's a chicken or egg, or it's, I guess, tomato. I mean, I don't know. It's, which would you rather have, a fill in the bank that you can mow or have a retaining wall that could possibly fail, or you gotta maintain? It probably costs about the same. Yeah, there's a lot of trouble.
Brandon, I'm sure you're aware of Tyler's comments, at least they're the only comments we've seen regarding the septic system being undersized.
We've addressed those,
Okay, and then they're, okay, you've taken care of that.
yes.
The system must be designed for a 6-bedroom, 760 gallon per day system.
We have, or should I say, we have or will address those. But we have,
Where are you with Tyler and your approval?
we have an application, we have a preliminary review. I can't tell you right now that if we've resubmitted addressing those comments or not, but we will.
Okay. Well, it's standard operating procedure with us, the condition, one of the conditions would be that you get that system design approved before COO is issued. Which I'm sure, hopefully, you can't move into it unless you have COO. MRB you had quite a review on this, Eric. Anything that jumps out at you in terms of specifics you want to mention now, or make sure it gets included in our discussions?
Can we get a copy of the review letter too?
What's that?
Can we have a copy of the review letter, or is it?
Should be on file for a minute.
Okay,
Anything that sticks out to us, I think a lot of it is nothing that's going to hold this up. There's a comment about the SWIP that looks like it's already been submitted to DEC, even though the MS4 hasn't approved it yet. Changes to types of silt fence. I don't think that there's anything here that's particularly noteworthy. There's some notes that reference things that maybe aren't on the plans or should be corrected. Providing for the 1-year, 2-year design storm. But again, I don't think any of that stuff is gonna.
Did you mention the JD requirement at all? Is that in your review or?
Well, the whole process for the JD has kind of changed anyways. And there's a court ruling in Albany that changed the DEC requirements, and now they're kind of reverting back to their previous regulations. So
They're going back to what it used to.
Yeah.
Highly steep slopes, driveway site distance we talked about. Right to farm note. Is that a note that's actually put in the plan? Is it there or is it needed? Fire, we got no comments while you're looking that up.
Yeah.
Fletcher's not involved other than the highway, the access, and you have 2 wells on the property, right, Brendan?
yes, correct.
And so you've tested them and they're
The,
functional,
the higher well up next to the road is salt, so they drilled a new well.
so you're doing one in the back.
Do you know the approximate depth of those wells?
So top one, I think, is a little over 300. I don't know what the second one is.
Across the road, I got 76 feet.
You got water 76?
Yeah, over the other side of town.
Oh, the property adjacent to the right there, I know they don't have water at all.
Right. Remember that house?
The right.
I remember it well.
It's on, it's needed. Yeah. Anything else?
Right, the farm note is on the bottom of the existing conditions. You look up.
The Ag Committee didn't find any loss of ag land,
Bottom left hand corner
even though it's a really big, large property.
next to the signature.
ACB, concerned, I guess, about the types of plantings to be used, make sure they're native. Do you have any, my drive by, it didn't look like, it appeared you wouldn't be removing, you're not going into the woods
No,
at all. There might have been a stray tree here or there. But nothing I think of any
I don't
consequence.
think really anything at all, honestly. We're staying in the field.
They did mention and whether the applicant is considering geothermal for their
I don't know at this time.
Excuse me?
I don't know at this time. I don't know if they are. or not.
just a comment, consider it. I know more and more people are,
Yeah,
especially when you have the room.
yeah.
Code. Mike Murphy, have anything of consequence? Oh, he always is. As fire company had no comments. Driveway, you've got the paving up of the right of way. The driveway itself gravel, I think you. Gravel, right, Brent?
I believe it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think somewhere in the,
Yeah,
oh, those notes, I think it's gravel, it was a 12-foot gravel driveway.
yep.
But paved out right away. Okay. So this took care of fire. Anything else? Board,
Nothing else.
friends, family, anybody have any comments on this application? Okay, if not, let's move on. As has been the practice this evening, we got a seeker type 2 and a single stage site plan. Once again, let's put them together.
I'll make the motion, 26-036. Seeker type 2 and single stage site plan. We have 7 conditions as written, but did we add any?
I added 2.
Okay.
Pending your approval. Condition 8, electric compaction detail for the proposed fills provided prior to permitting. Condition 9, site distances shall be known on the site plans prior to. Is there anything that I missed?
No, be good.
As the 9 conditions.
Okay, I have a motion from Amanda. Do I have a
I'll second it.
second from Bob. No discussion. If not, all in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Thanks, Brian. Good to see you again.
Take care, dude.
Everybody.
Good night, Brandon.
Okay. Batting cleanup, engineer Bill Grove for CPN 2026-30. This is the one that's being continued, excuse me. Let's move on to 2026-037. Bill Grove, property of 3564 County Route 16. It's for a single stage site plan approval for the installation of a new driveway, site grading, stormwater management. The area to service which exceeds 1,000 square feet. That's why you're here this evening in the RLD. Bill, how are you?
Well said.
Okay.
I'm good. How are you? So. I'm Bill Grove with Grove Engineering. We've got I don't know how you describe it, some of the property owners here, the property's in an LLC. And so. How would you describe it? You're a member and an applicant, that's right. Yeah. So
Now we got a hierarchy
yeah,
here.
so Tom lives across the street and it's my understanding that his son and daughter and their spouses own the property under an LLC. So Tom's kind of the local point man, so you may have seen his name on some of the paperwork for the application forms.
So the house on the west side of Westlake
It
Road
is, yeah,
is the
uphill side.
LOC. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. So what they're proposing to do is install a spur of driveway to access the first floor, the upper floor of the existing house. There's a loop driveway there now that allows them to access the walkout basement portion of the house, but they want to be able to drive up to and park in front of the upper level. And in doing that, it allows us to also address some drainage issues to try to keep water away from the foundation and out of the basement. And so we've incorporated those drainage improvements and erosion and sediment control stuff onto the plan. There is also a barn that sits behind the property on the upper side of the property. That barn is somewhat landlocked, but it's owned by it's in the family. And so part of the improvements are to have a pathway to access that barn. It's not going to be a driveway, but it's going to be access to that barn that's built up there, which the barn hasn't been there that long. I know that some of the comments, probably from ECB, maybe from the county. I don't know if the county reviewed it, but somebody had comments about drainage from the barn site. But I think that has been recently adjusted as part of the barn project. So I don't think that I can't say there's not going to be any water, but it's much less likely that water will be running off from the site above this because they've done grading improvements to the barn site on the uphill side.
What's the barn used for? Is it storage?
Storage.
Or boats, vehicles?
Time of year is full of trailers.
Okay. The boats are where they're supposed to be in the water.
Yeah.
That is only a couple of years old.
So you said it's not gonna be a driveway, it's gonna be
No,
a pathway.
it's gonna remain grass. Yeah,
So-
but it's going to be and they currently use it as a
Yeah, I can
pathway
see
to
it,
get
yeah.
the boats and trailers up and down there. But we've got it gives us, by doing all this, it gives us an opportunity to adjust some drainage and make sure that we're capturing water as it comes down off of the hill. You can see behind the house, kind of the uphill side of the porch, we're gonna capture water there, where right now water flows to the
If
structure.
you don't mind going to the.
Yeah.
It's shown as exactly the water coming off the hill, which,
So right now it just kind of sits along the back of the house.
Yeah.
Some of it goes around this side. They've had some washouts. Love that flame falling finger up. There's some washouts on this side that have caused some stone and debris to be deposited in the driveway. That's been prepared and we're gonna fix that as part of this, but also on the south side of the house, we're gonna make sure that there's positive drainage away from the structure so that they don't have water issues in the basement. On the rears of the house, we're gonna have a swale there that directs water to the north. And then through a swale with check dams and ultimately down to the ditch at the road.
okay. Yeah, I know the county's always concerned about water coming off our hill. They say our drainage problems are caused by our hill, but sometimes it's just, we don't have an adequate infrastructure within the county road to collect the water. So I guess certainly we don't want to make it any worse, but if we can improve it, which hopefully this design does, all the better. The driveway itself, stabilized, what's the surface gonna be, Bill?
I assume you'd pave the driveway. Yeah.
Okay. I think that will help too, in terms of stone and debris coming out into the.
Yeah.
My concern on that is the sheet flow of rains off that. Is that cantered to the north at all?
Yeah, we've got it. It's gonna be directed so that it'll head to that
Thank
northeast corner. Northeast corner of the property, but north side of the driveway.
Yeah, so not, we're straight down off of the other driveway, but off.
Do you have a written agreement with the gas company about the going over that easement there? For the gas line coming in? Do you have any approvals from them?
No, not that I know of. I think, is this the one we had to
We have.
relocate the
application-
gas?
We have an application with NICEAG for relocating the house service. Otherwise, the main goes under the existing.
You know, the approximate square footage area of the farthest east retention spot where the riprap splashes. Do you know that the intent of what you're gonna do with the riprap there for volume? The one that's at the.
Yeah, I know where you
That
mean,
little
yep,
island area.
yep. I assume it would be something like a 3x3 splash pad. It's not gonna be a large, it's not a pond or anything like that. It's
So just paving the existing swap, or the existing drainage of the county road.
yes, yeah. And that's to catch, there's some roof drainage that flows through there now and just flows over the driveway. And
So
so
you're just gonna pipe that under.
we want to pipe that underneath, yeah.
Pete, was this the application that the county Public Works really didn't have any comments, which surprised me, but
Yeah, their sewer station, on the immediate neighbors.
It's right
to the
next
north of
door,
the
yeah.
Sewer station,
But as far as the drainage coming out, I guess,
no, I think it'll actually improve things.
yeah, I think so too.
Try to keep it on our property until we get it out to the county road. As opposed to now, I think it is allowed to flow over that, through the tree, through the hedgerow and over onto the county property.
Okay. The ECB was concerned about making sure you protect whatever trees. And I guess related to that, any shoreline guideline issues here, board? I don't think so. We're not building anything new. I don't know if you're planning on doing any landscape improvements as part of it.
As soon as the washouts along the foundation go away.
Yeah, but. Yeah.
Then you'll put mulch in and plant the
It'll
bushes.
stay.
Yeah.
And I think the ENS control was also positive to the environmental board. Anything else, board? Anyone in the audience want to address the planning board regarding this application? If not? Unlisted? Why is it unlisted? Because it's
I checked, it is qualified as unlisted.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got an unlisted seeker resolution, so normally when we see one of those, we take it separately from the site plan resolution, so I will make a motion that we consider a seeker resolution to declare this an unlisted action under seeker and that the applicant has supplied a part one and the town is offering a part two and part three, which if we approve, I will sign. Anybody have any problems with the part twos and part threes?
No.
Okay, if not, I make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, a motion and second to adopt a secret resolution as unlisted action for this application. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, let's move on to the site plan.
I'll make a motion for the single stage site plan approval 26037. We have four, I believe, four conditions listed, but I don't know if we add in any, so four is written.
Okay. In a second. For discussion, not all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Well
All
done.
right, thank you.
Painless. Thanks folks for coming out.
Thanks a lot, you guys. Appreciate it.
Since I have this, it's just.
All right. Bill, you're still on deck?
I'm here, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
CPN 2026-037. That we did that. Okay, how about 043? For 2451 Brickyard Road. Construction of a new landscaping and hardscaping facility. Associated improvements on a vacant parcel in the industrial zoning. And this is a site plan. So Bill, tell us a little bit what's happening.
Sure. Well, I've got Jake Cremens and Mike Cremens here. Jake's the owner.
Hi,
of,
fellas.
Jake's Landscaping and Hardscaping. And it's his intention to build a new landscaping shop on this property on Brickyard Road. It's roughly across from the airport, just south of Mercy Flight area. There's an existing driveway apron that's there. They've done some clearing of the scrub woods that were there. So it's all open, at least as far as all the proposed area that we're gonna be disturbing. It's all open now. There's a wetland in the back of the property that's been delineated and shown on the plan. So we're not encroaching on that. And so the intention is to have a large gravel driveway, parking area, storage yard for landscape materials. And a shop that's gonna have a restroom, break room in it too, or
Yeah, probably like a break room and
Yeah.
maybe like a war room more or less,
Okay.
just for have plans like that.
and then the bulk of the shop space is gonna be vehicle parking. Equipment storage. So we've got some stormwater mitigation, some infiltration of the roof runoff. As well as a bioswale, bioretention area for the driveway drainage. And we're requesting a waiver from, if I'm gonna say this right, but we're requesting a waiver to allow them to have a holding tank for the wastewater. The intention is that there would be around 5 employees there, and so they wouldn't use very much water, and we ran the numbers, and if we had to do a septic system there, it would be required to be a raised fill system, which would be very expensive. And so we're proposing a holding tank with an alarm on it that would be pumped out as needed. A step above the portable outhouses that would also have to be pumped if they were to use that, but so we're requesting approval on a holding tank there. There's a proposed fence around the yard and the building with a gate at the road. What else is there? Town water. That's about it, I guess, in a nutshell.
Okay. So there is a gate.
Yeah, yep, at where the fence crosses. So there's an easement across the front. Or what's on
It's for the town.
I think, isn't there a path easement on this road?
It's about 30 feet.
Yeah,
I think that's the town.
30-foot easement to the town of Kenny. It must be path related.
Yeah,
of
I
some
need the
sort.
path that's went up there on whatever trail that we have on that road.
And so the fence would be just behind that easement line.
Okay, I'm not sure your plan showed the gate. See the fence, I mean, at either side, but.
It's right here. I don't have a detail of the gate.
Oh, no, I'm just, okay.
It would be at that, in line with the fence, and we can't have the fence in the easement, so it would be at that location.
Did you say retail or resale center where there's gonna be samples of pavers and stuff like that, and clients are coming there to purchase and take away, or is this more just for commercial use of landscape trailers and personal equipment to do landscaping offsite?
Let me ask these guys.
Yeah, pretty much like,
Not like sensitives, not like a show.
yeah, it's
Okay,
That was in the,
So, basically what it happened.
okay,
So the guys in the morning, they go there 15-20 minutes, they load up equipment, they come at the end of the day. They do this and that.
yeah,
Instead of an outhouse.
yeah, they're not trying to compete with Sensenix.
Yeah.
Like they said at the PRC meeting, and that's where they would send people. It doesn't make sense to try to stock any of your own stuff there to sell to stuff when it's that close.
I missed where the tank is gonna be.
It's in the northwest corner, yep, right by the cursor in the.
And how big is the tank?
We're proposing it to be a minimum of 2,000
2,000.
gallons.
Fairly big.
2,000 usually is about the sweet spot for size and cost. If you can go bigger.
Yeah.
But it gets more expensive and you can go smaller, then you have to pump it more frequently, so. A lot of times 2,000 gallons works out well. It's a typically an, off the shelf item, if you call it that, there, it's not a special order size tank.
Fiberglass or?
No, it would be
Plastic.
concrete.
So how do you access it?
The tank?
Yeah, well, I mean.
Oh, to pump it?
You said if it's on the front corner, seems like it's a long ways from driveway.
Oh, they got long hoses.
Yeah, it's not a
They
problem.
do my house. That's how they have long.
Yeah. Elevation is more of a concern for septic pumpers than distance. They usually carry at least 100 feet of hose on the truck, sometimes more, but if it's more than 25 feet of elevation, they can do it, but they struggle with it.
So there's no public access.
No.
Wonder if you get finished before that other one on Airport Road. Yeah. It's not.
Well, I know the ECB brought it up, but I think I brought it up PRC would be any mulch and organics.
Yep.
That you would be placing it on the gravel and was concerned about leaching into the.
Yeah, so if you wanna talk a little bit about what we do.
Yeah,
mulch
we
pile.
can cover it and not, so we're gonna have a minimal amount of mulch probably for the first few years until eventually we may want to pour like a concrete pad. As you see at some of these landscape facilities, and you have, your bays, and then we could eventually get a cover, just like with the topsoil, the mulch. And that'll help kind of contain stuff leaching.
Yeah, having the pad helps you load too, because otherwise you're
You're
going into the stone. Yeah.
Yeah. Get that occasionally at Mayflower, get a few stones in with your mulch.
Yeah, even in the beginning, he's gonna talk, eventually. Hardboard type things.
And
Yeah.
what kind of material? It's mostly bulk
Mulch and stone, we do a lot of hardscapes, patios,
Okay.
walls,
They don't leach. Okay.
yeah.
Wood
Yeah, it used to be
chips.
like limestone,
Okay.
pressure rod.
I questioned that leaching of the mulch thing because
I
everybody
know.
knows that it's going to be spread across, flower beds that are gonna be
I know
leaching out.
municipalities, and I worked with one, we got cited for having a leaf pile
Oh.
open, exposed, and there was leaf mulch,
Mhm.
juice going down towards the trees. Liquor.
They're just the tannins that's what, so.
Yeah,
Probably,
it's
yeah.
essentially, it's whatever's in leaves when they start breaking down, I guess it has.
Well, I've seen like, when you have a bigger mulch pile and you break into it after a while, you get some of that decomposition in there. So I get what you're saying, when you spread it out thin, you're not gonna see that so much, but as the pile sits there for several months, you can start to decompose, so I understand where you're getting at.
And I guess related to that, I think who was it? The county had brought up about any runoff
Yeah.
from fluids,
Yeah, there's
equipment fluids,
not
changing
gonna be
oil.
any equipment repair outside the building, anything that they're not gonna store any chemicals outside. No oil changes not outside at least.
And your footprint doesn't, your influence area doesn't go into the woods, so I think the ECB and the planning board would be concerned about staying out of the woods. Literally.
Mhm.
So you don't have any chemicals that you're storing in the building or outside the building?
No,
Mhm.
all of industry fuel.
My features, goods. The county sewer, they really didn't have any comment regarding the holding tank, but they just said there's a high water table and. At some point, it'd be nice to hook up to the sewer, which I'm sure you'd love to do at some point, but it's not accessible. Do you see your business growing? I'm sure you're hoping it
Oh,
grows.
absolutely.
I guess the concern being then if you have more employees, the size of the tank, it probably means it's gotta be pumped out more frequently.
Yeah, that's it, and there's room if it gets to the point where it's not economical to keep. You know, there'd be a point where it would make sense to spend the money to put a full septic system in, but that's, you know, probably because you'd have to pump it. That we could reuse the holding tank as a septic tank, but we'd have to add a pump tank and then a raised fill leach field, so.
The number of employees you have currently using this would be,
Right now, I have 2 full-time employees and then 1 part-time, then myself.
oh. Okay. Sure.
Yeah,
2,000.
all there and it's all cool.
I think we all would.
It's not high. Yeah, I guess, like, again, the concern is as your business grows, and you have more employees that, would that holding tank actually function or be a good alternative in terms of, I suppose. And I guess
Feel
we're
like
worried
it's
about,
going to, yeah, it's, you know, you can pump that tank out an awful lot of times for the, you know, to offset the $25,000 or whatever it would cost for the whole system.
especially for three or four employees.
We figure like maybe every 6 months, every 5 months, 2,500 gallon tank. If you flush a 2 gallon, 1 gallon and a half flush toilet, you know, maybe every 5 months, if they use it like 10 times a day. So it's really not.
And again, the guys stop in the morning and they come back at night, so it's not like they're.
Yeah,
They're
we're not
not-
there very often.
But that's why we wanted the setback, so if we had to put a leach field in, we can put another tank. And then pump that up to the other tank to the raised leach field.
Okay.
So there is room there. Make sure Bill put it in.
And your driveway site distances are
Plenty.
very good.
It's a long way.
Yeah, you can see beyond the
Not
airport.
quite forever. Each direction will go pretty close.
Great program.
Mhm.
Farmington Water, said you might need a backflow device. I think you have that as a condition, right? Water.
I do, yes.
There it is, okay. Very good, very good. Code. Might get much on this, Murphy? Should remember. I don't think so.
He had a few comments. Which you might have already addressed, removing Canada water superintendency. Knockbox, access to the gate, which I think we discussed with PRC.
Yeah, I think we added it.
Note about the holding tank, but you provided the waiver.
And again, with the new JD requirements, I guess with the wetlands,
Well, this one was, we had it.
it falls under the old requirements, I
don't-
guess.
Yeah. I somehow missed the new requirements. I don't know how, but maybe ones that we worked on, they're either they were
Oh,
already
it'll change.
delineated or
Wait till next month, it'll change.
it'll change again. But yeah, the DEC was out there and did the delineation, and then the surveyor went out and
Oh, he
marked those.
marked it.
Yeah, so I think we're covered on that.
And it does have an 8-foot fence, which is allowable in the industrial district, so. Yes, standard. With the gate, all right. I think we beat it up enough. Anybody out in the audience? Address the board, any concerns? If not, we are ready to move on. Back to type 2. So someone wanna put the two together? I don't know if we added any conditions.
Sure. On the type two, site plan for CPN 2026-043, 24 yard road. With how many conditions?
There are six.
6 conditions.
I'll second.
Okay, motion second, you're not gonna have a sign if I remember right, no signs, no sign, no sign.
Probably not,
Okay.
maybe down the
Is
road,
that- we have to have a variance for that.
You need a permit.
Permit,
sign
not a
permit.
variance, yeah, they'd want
Yeah.
it shown on the site plan where you. put
If
it,
you're
whatever
gonna put one
consists
up,
of, there's a size.
Where it would be,
Okay.
but if you're not gonna include it at this point, fine, we're good. Okay, motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thanks, fellas. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay,
I didn't know, I'll be right out here, oh, wait a second.
Okay.
For the next one, I called Travis and asked, he said that he was asking for it to be tabled.
Yes,
Okay.
he asked for a continuation of the ZBA,
Okay,
so that'll bump back this planning board
okay,
until August 11th.
okay. No, I didn't see it. I was on my way here. I looked up which of the other two projects was first and I see you might be the third time and I go, hold on a minute. So I called him. I said, you know you're on? He goes, I don't know. It's really not.
this was worth the trip, right?
Yeah, for sure. All right.
All right, thanks,
Thank you
Bill.
all.
We'll see you in August, if not sooner.
See about that.
Let's move on to CPN 2026-055 Marathon Engineering for Parkside Drive. They are in requesting a second 90-day extension for the DePaul Ontario Next Steps property, the community residence out on Parkside Drive. Jake, you're with us this evening?
Yes, virtually. Yep.
Okay. How you making out there?
Actually, really well now. So, just to give you the quick update, and the big one is we have heard some preliminary comments back from the Office of Mental Health, and pretty much nothing in regards to the site plan. So that's great on our end. I'll just quickly run through kind of where we're at without outside agencies, and then kind of go from there. So, DOH, all we're looking to do is we just need to get our RPZ application approved for the DOH to review, and then that'll be sent over to Farmington Water for them to also review, and that will give us the full approval when it comes to water. Town permits, we're in good shape. Obviously, we've received the site plan approval. MRB group, we do have a couple very minor comments that I'm going to get out to Eric right after the holiday. Very minor, but just want to square away those loose ends. Ontario Sewer, we have not had any comment. It's a pretty small connection. And DEC ENOI will be submitted once we are pretty much ready to go. Other than that, we're in good shape. Obviously, DePaul owns the property, so we're still all for the project. What our plan is we are going to get signatures here in the next couple months, and then probably in July we're gonna set up a meeting just to review the schedule with the town, with the building department and whatnot, just so we're all on the same page, kind of progressing forward. Because obviously, I hate to say this out loud, but with winter coming as it comes to construction season, we just want to be very upfront with everyone and just kind of share where we're at with our construction schedule and go from there.
Okay. I'm sorry, did you say how you making out with RG&E?
So I have not seen anything on my end, but we I believe, and I can get you a better answer here in the next couple weeks, but I believe we're all squared away and good with that just because we're substantially smaller than the neighboring project. But, and of course, I can send that over to Eric kind of once we get our will serve letters and whatnot.
Okay, so you're thinking that this is the second and final extension you'll need?
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm very confident that we will get the all the approvals needed. We're already set up plan wise. It's just that RPZ. Once we get that approved, and SWBR is working on that and finalizing that, and here in the next couple weeks, we'll get the Mylar circulated for signature, and then we'll again probably prior to those signatures, we're going to try to set up a meeting here in hopefully July. If it bleeds into August, that's okay. But just to be forward with the town and just kind of share our construction schedule.
Okay, sounds like good news. Board have any questions of the applicant? Jake? Okay, if not, I think this is within our protocol of a second 90-day extension, and I think we have justifiable reasons to grant it. So if someone wants to make a motion.
Yeah, so moved.
Second. Okay, got a motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thanks, Jake, for the update and good luck.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a great holiday weekend, everyone.
You too.
All right, I think that brings us to the end of the agenda.
Continuation.
Oh, continuation for
CPN 26030.
That sounds like a motion.
okay.
4243 State Route 21 South. For which date?
August 11th. August
For
11th.
August 11th. I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, yeah, this is going before the ZBA in July, and if successful, come to us on.
Up for their waiver for the driveway next to the other property.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
The other
Driveway
part.
sides.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Mark's in a hurry.
She's home. She didn't patch up his. All right, this
We
just
started it.
to drag this meeting out.
Don't you dare.
All right, we got the minutes from back in the first meeting of June. 3rd, 16th, so June 10th one,
Oh, I think it was June 9th.
whatever it was. Someone want to give me a motion?
So moved.
Okay.
Mark seconded.
Tim did actually.
Oh, Tim?
Did he call the vote yet?
No, he didn't call it yet. I think he went on you.
I think everyone voted aye.
Irene on what a great job she did before we voted. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, let's give away some money. Okay, we've got two letters, credit releases. One for 2450 Cooley Road. The Beck Living Trust wants the final release of their ENS security with 598906. Do I have my surety release people in place?
Chip. The people.
Now I don't have paperwork.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I think we did. Did you send the
I'm not sure. Did it get sent? Good.
you wanna see it?
Oh,
Yeah.
there it
Yes,
is.
please. Thank you. Here. If you want to take that one or with this one.
I think it's a one and done ENS release. Cooley Road, is this the contemporary house?
Yes.
Not done yet.
So I will make the motion for CPN 2024-116 for 2450 Cooley Road in the amount of $5,989.06 for the surety release.
Okay. Thank you, Mark. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I made a second.
Further discussion? Not in favor. Aye.
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 Okay, the other release,
It's the big boy.
yeah, it's a Morel.
plus.
Somebody have in front of them.
I do.
She's
Okay.
confirming the math.
Two.
Are you comfortable with it?
5,
Yeah,
9, 3. 0.55771.59.
92, 295, 93. 1,055, that's right.
2, 5, 2, 6, 1, 4. Yep,
Okay,
2, 1, 9, 7, 2, 5, 4, 5, 5.
there's your word if you want.
Excellent. I'll make a motion to CPN 23038 in request for release of $92,225.93 of the original 1.2 be released, thereby leaving 197, 254 and 55 cents remaining.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Thank you for the
That's section 2, right?
it's a two
2B
to be
or not?
Subdivision 2B number 6.
Okay,
to be number 6.
that's
partial.
the middle section.
Yep.
3's out near you, right? It's
out
Tim.
near Tim, yeah.
Okay,
His backyard.
so I have motion a second.
Yep.
To release that amount. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, cut them a check. All right, our next meeting, folks, is July 14th, I think. And you'll notice that we pushed the discussion of the ridgeline guidelines, the shoreline guidelines to that meeting. Thought we'd have a little more time since there's not a lot else on the agenda. So what staff is proposing, I think you had taken the shoreline guidelines and just made some could be's to shalls or should the shalls, I guess.
We haven't made any changes. We were looking for comments from the board, prior to staff doing any.
You have any suggestions to how the guidelines should be set up?
So we were really looking for you guys' input, because
Okay.
this is your forte. What you want the shorelines and ridgelines to look like. So instead of having staff spend their time, ordinance agreed with us on this.
Hmm?
Instead of us writing what we think you guys want, we were hoping that we could get your input first.
Okay,
And then we can critique it into a guideline format that matches our format.
okay.
And bring it back to you.
So we would come up with what we would think the shoreline guidelines should address, look like here.
Well, and yeah, if there's a concern, staff can research it too and see if there's other communities that address that concern also. So whatever you think should be in these guidelines,
Mhm.
that's what we're really looking for.
Okay,
So what I keep thinking through, just to give you some food for thought, is I keep trying to think through how to make it enforceable. Because there's a lot of good stuff that was already in it, but it's all what I would consider soft. Because unless we get to a point, and some communities have done this, where we say you're allowed to have this color palette. This is what happens if you change a tree. If you need to plant, then it's the design guidelines that kick in. I don't know how to make it enforceable, so we do a whole lot of, it'd be nice if we did this. Oh, that looks like it needs another tree about 3 feet to the left of the door.
So I guess I would turn to our attorney.
So I can write you so you're right, that is an issue. If I can write you a code that says each parcel in the RLD shall have 9.3 trees, and they shall be any of the following types of trees, and they shall be planted this far away from the house and this far away from the lake. And Dan can, hire somebody to write an AI program to see if that's in conformity. We don't have that. We have humans in a
legal entity, the planning board, who can exercise judgment and discretion. Now, you don't have unfettered judgment and discretion. You may have noticed sometimes I say, hey, wait, stop. And it's in a framework of our town code and New York State law. In terms of site plan review, what you're supposed to look at, but trees especially is sort of something, I mean, I've seen people say, well, here's the reason we can't put a tree here. Here's the reason we really don't want a tree here. Chuck says, oh, would you put a tree here instead, or 7 trees here? So it's the town board has appointed you and,
I'm not
trusts
thinking-
you to do it.
I know you're. I'm not thinking of us.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of opinions and we can say a lot of stuff. I'm talking about after. Once it leaves here.
Well, if it's on a site plan that there's gonna be a tree there.
Yeah, but
One, they have landscaping bonds, so
I
they
get
can't
it.
plant it and let it wither and die.
But we don't have unlimited resources within the town, right?
True.
So as a result. If there's no energy to decide to go after it, then. Or do these things, and we're spinning our wheels in some ways. Because nobody's gonna enforce it.
So,
And I'm not suggesting they don't want to, I'm suggesting they don't have resource to do it.
so it's
the
been
question
my
is-
experience. That one. Once people spend money on. Landscaping. They're going to leave it there. Now, if somebody says, yeah, planning board, I'll plant 10 trees in my backyard. And then as soon as they mature and they go, ha, I'm getting my chainsaw. They died. If it's an intentional, disobedience of a site plan approval, the town will go after them. I have not seen that happen much, that there's intentional disobedience
I
of.
don't think it's intentional disobedience, I mean, it's kind of like concept around changing how much dirt. Without a permit.
Yeah.
Who has time to
That
waste
wasn't
that
planning.
and go after it, that's
Trees
my
were
master.
there.
So,
I guess I don't know the answer to how much is out there that people are in violation.
in other words, it relies on whether or not it sticks in somebody's craw.
It does, yes.
But
But
I drive by projects all the time and it's things that I didn't care about, but I know there's something that somebody else cared about here.
Well,
And I'm like, oh, somebody should be looking at that one, but I don't pick up the phone and call them either.
And so,
I know you did.
Mark, if you flip that around. If you guys are requiring trees where it doesn't matter, nobody cares if there's trees there, if you're just requiring trees for the sake of trees, people are gonna cut them down and nobody's gonna care.
Yeah.
But the theory between behind giving you guys the discretion to decide where these trees go and how many, is that you're gonna be thoughtful and place them where they need to be.
I really just don't wanna create more work for these folks, cause I think they're doing an amazing job, they're doing stuff that helps us all the time. The activities that they're doing within Cloud Permit and giving us the tools to make my job easier, I love them, thank you. You're my heroes, so thanks for continuing to do that. And I don't wanna try to do something that I think is good that gets into the minutia of just creating more work that we don't have resources to.
So I can say that we're not gonna actively go out and pursue every site plan to make sure it's.
Tree counting.
To a T. But when we get a complaint or.
It gives you enforceability for that.
Right, so without these guidelines in place, gives you guys some teeth, but it also, when Mike's team goes out there and does the enforcement side of things. He uses all these documents, especially if it gets to the point where we have to go to court. Obviously, we're trying for compliance before that, but if it does, we have everything in line, and that helps Chris's job when he stands here with the judge. So I don't think you're wasting your time.
So you want something defendable, that's what you're.
So really, what they need to be really is if we say we want something done, we need to be on the site plan or it needs to be in conditions. It can't be in the notes.
I get
because
that.
doesn't- No, it can be in the notes.
I get it.
No, I found that out. It doesn't work for me very well. Oh, it doesn't work for you. The conditions.
It also,
are more so.
I would think in the notes would be on the YouTube video that the meeting was covered in and none of that.
Oh, I thought you meant the notes on the site plan. Sorry, no, yeah, I agree, not in the minutes.
What I see more being in the industry is, it's not necessarily plantings that are the issue, it's stormwater management, patios going in after the fact, lot coverage. That's I don't wanna say I'll see something, say something kind of contractor, but I'm held to a standard being part of this board and this, but. I think that the enforceability of knowing that there was a retention pond here at CFC, 3 weeks later, now it's a driveway. That's my concern as, and not only a person of the community, but as a member of this board.
And Jay, I completely agree with you, and that's why I'm wondering is, I mean, this is a good thing that we're doing, but we still got a lot of stormwater work that we still need to, I think, get in place.
Yeah.
Is that where our energy should be spent?
I agree with Bob 100% with Anthony's design tonight, that was perfect. That's what I would love to see.
I think you heard Brennan's feelings, because I think Brennan tries to do it.
Yeah.
That's not. That's not home security. That's not.
I usually give Anthony a hard time, but that was. You know, it's just great. Not like those other engineers in town.
So guys, be thinking about between now and the next meeting, the things you'd like to see in the guidelines, what we're looking for along the lakeshore and the RLD. And come up with that and discuss it then and come up, it's just, we're gonna keep it as guidelines, not code, right?
Correct, it's gonna be
So
guidelines.
it's not gonna be a requirement, it'll be,
Well,
Guidelines.
here,
even though we have a lot of discretion.
It is in this code that applicant shall satisfy the planning board as to shoreline guidelines. So
And getting our approval, they gotta meet our
you're not gonna
guidelines.
give them site plan approval until you're satisfied.
And we've been successful.
And
with that.
again, you exercise
Whether it
discretion.
gets built that way, it's
Right.
here's the thing.
Or shield
is
coated.
if somebody calls our office trying to prepare for your meeting and wants a copy of these guidelines. You saw what we sent you.
Mhm.
What do I tell somebody that wants shoreline guidelines?
Okay.
I mean, these are the things,
No,
yes,
I-
it's in code and Chris is absolutely
that-
right, that we have a path.
I think that guideline we have is older than that
So that we
declaration.
need the guidelines to reflect what you guys want.
Independence.
Yeah, so they need to be rewritten.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Like I rewrote the other one personally.
that's why.
Bob's volunteering to
Should
rewrite the
just
shoreline.
have-
I already rewrote the other one. What was it, Ridgeline or? Yeah, just do the shorelines and see if everybody likes it.
Speaking of original.
No, we're not speaking, nobody's. speaking.
No, I mean, just,
That was the.
I don't wanna get into it tonight, but yeah.
Yeah.
Do we need original guidelines? And what do they say?
Super good question. I'll send you whatever.
Doug Finch hired a consultant to draft the ridgeline guideline. And I think you have included in the workspace, right?
I'm just looking.
Wow.
The ridge line, Bob did send us his updated version.
Draft.
And we have uploaded that to Cloud Commit, so everybody should be able to see it. But again, I would love to hear everybody else's thoughts and opinions too at the next meeting.
Okay, so we'll talk about that on the 14th along with chapter 170. I haven't seen anything added to the workspace.
Should be up there.
For which one, I'm sorry?
170.
No.
I think the
Water.
you were going to work on the site design criteria and
It's done.
do the merge and how the two relate and
Site design is still not done. But 170 is done. It took all the comments that this board had.
yeah, okay.
MRB had, we worked with Chris and got it to a point that it went back, it's going back to order.
But I think what Tim was asking for, and some of us were asking the correlation between the site design criteria section, chapter having to do with stormwater.
Correct.
And see how that relates to 170.
And we don't have that as of yet.
Okay.
Mike's gonna find out.
Any event, so we'll talk 170, we'll talk a new sketch plan from Diamond Acres. And Kristen showed me that is a new plan, even though he did not change the date. I gave it a quick look and I said, this is the same plan, but there weren't a lot of changes in it, but
I just.
see if you can find Waldo.
I just got my childhood Where's Waldo books from my dad and I would circle Waldo. so I can find him. when
So
I
you
went
ruined it
back.
for everybody?
I was only a child, so I ruined it for myself.
Really
And
bad.
now you're older, you found it.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, now I can go, now there he is, quick.
And we
Wait a
had,
minute, let the minutes reflect.
Comments, at that next meeting about Diamond Acres. So that we can give something back to the applicant.
okay,
We are not gonna invite, well, if the applicant shows up, they show up, but we are not gonna formally invite them to come and make a presentation that night. We are just gonna have, you had the original, you have now this updated, which is correct, there is not any changes. And, does our attorney want to talk about that this is, we should be asking for everything on this?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
PUD.
Oh, yeah. You know, PUDs, planned unit developments are an exercise in amending the uses and the dimensions and the design allowed. And it really increases, density. The allowed density, and it's it's very beneficial to developers. It's a great, especially when they don't even have 100 acres. It's a great location. This is where the town wants this, but does the town want it to look like every single other subdivision, or does the town want some traffic circles or complete streets, or want to change the design to make it a little bit more walkable and accessible between the you know, the Route 332 stuff and the residential stuff?
Yeah.
This is big. And it's mixed use. You've never seen any of that. I mean, theoretically, Uptown Landing was mixed use because they put you know, a 5,000 square foot commercial building in because they needed to qualify for incentive zoning by throwing a mixed use in. But that was just a housing development. This is actually mixed use. Is it fine the way it is? Sure, it's like most site plans, but could you get some more connectivity there? Could you get lighting? I don't know, stuff that you guys should be thinking about from a design perspective that developers in general are, you know, happy to provide. Yep. I think this is 280 units, some, that's, you know, it's 180 unit developments don't usually go in.
Yeah.
Don't usually get approved in.
It's coming here.
Okay, training, Kim, thanks for sending out the spreadsheet.
Training, I do want to make one comment about, if anybody on the board is interested in the New York, Sending Federation, I need to know no later than July 23rd. For the August 7th at Finger Lakes Community College, they're having a day of training. I will be happy to sign up anybody that would like to go, if you're available. It is in your budget, so just let me know.
Yeah, I'll be away, but certainly take advantage of it. I think it's very convenient.
Yeah.
And speaking of the Federation, their conference next year is April 11th to the 13th. So we usually have at least one, maybe two, depending if the ZBA sends anyone. So where's that gonna be? That's at Cooperstown. So Jay went last year, I went the year before, Tim went the year before, so. Any of you three wanna partake? Think about it.
Maybe, I went to Batavia's.
And that's, you talked about FLCC. So, yeah, if you had any changes on the spreadsheet, let Kim know. I think we're doing pretty well for halfway through, at least our board. Okay, anything else for the good of the group?
I got one more thing.
Sure, Dan.
I don't have a lot of information about it, but I do know that Mike Murphy has been working very diligently on updating the AI part of Cloud Connect. And that is something that could be useful for this board, but it's also very useful for anybody that's applying for an application. It searches a whole bunch of documents. He is continuing to put in more information in there. So you can ask it from as simple as something of what is the allowed height fence of a zoning district, or what's the cost of a fence permit. We will be uploading more stuff for planning board applications. Kim's doing one right now. She just typed in about the fence and immediately it comes back with. It was unable to find the height requirements. Okay, so
That's super helpful.
that was super helpful, but we are working on it. It's something that, some new stuff that has come out from Cloud Prevent, so. We will continue to modify it and get it better, but it's another thing that Cloud Permits offer.
Is it AI searching just our regulations or?
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
it's our documents that we
Our documents.
upload.
Feed it, yeah.
Are we
not a
teaching
general
it?
municipal.
Yeah.
No, we,
We are teaching it, or we
searches.
There was a good seminar the other day.
Okay, that's what popped up when I opened it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything that the town has
That
stated
people
that
will
they
have to
don't
make
want us to do?
the first application, so.
I'll play
With a link to.
We go through quite a bit of effort to try not to teach AI about company specific stuff. So we don't put customer specific stuff in, we don't put tech specific stuff in. Is there anything that? I mean, trying to teach us what not to do is probably the hard thing, because that's the first thing somebody's probably gonna do.
Right. So I don't think that we have those guidelines set up at the moment on, but again, it's really for the user end, to go on there and be able to find out information quickly. We're hoping that helps, transparency.
Well, hopefully what it's teaching them is just looking at basic, most commonly asked questions. Trying to expand on it.
Yes, and we're still learning on our end, but Mike has taken a lead on this, I would say, and he's done really well so far. And I think even more great things are.
Our disregard for the cyber training, what effect will that have on us?
Oh.
I mean,
How come
we got it the first time. I said, okay, fly that. Then we got a second. How many more are coming up? You know?
So we've been told that we don't even know as staff how many are coming. But we are told that they take between 3 and 5 minutes, and they are a requirement.
More than that.
You
they
can
have
actually
come-
fail.
Yes.
You can fail.
You can fail.
How do you know that, Mark?
They keep asking you,
Nothing
do you wanna go
there.
back and do it again?
That switches the correct question.
They just ask you.
Yeah, it's the
Why?
same question. It's the same question, yeah.
Cause I did take one of them, and just went like C, just to see what it would do. And it lets you fail, and then I redid it, get 100.
And then failed, again. Trying his hardest.
Well, we're gonna have to ask for more.
A lot of times that is insurance required, any users need to be taking those trainings.
Very good. So got a motion, Amanda?
Motion to adjourn to 42.
Second.
All in favor?
Man, I got a question for you. Offline here. Not yet, but I.
Are you?
Oh.